Matt, after looking at film, that 4th and 1, um, where Cam threw the bubble, was it the same as you had saw initially when you came off the field?
And I think when you go back and look at it, you can see the free safety was kind of rocking down a little bit. You can see some of the thought process that Cam had. Um, I can see some of what got him. Obviously, we're calling that play to run the quarterback. That being said, I'm sure Jeff would be the first guy to wish we called something else. If we do throw the ball out there, like at least get it to Robbie. Maybe he can bounce off the guy and tackle. But yeah, I mean that guy's protected. We don't need to throw it off that blitzer. That is who we're going to. But I can certainly see some of that. So it's an unfortunate play. I don't think it's just one play in the game. I don't think it lost the game. It certainly didn't help. But I think all of us would love to have that play back.
All right, let's go to Joe Person, followed by Steve Reed.
Hey, sorry, Matt, but same play, 24, the nickel, blitzing two on that. And it looked like Amir had him, but you had mentioned a zone read, being an option there. How would that have worked with Amir picking up 24?
Yeah, he's not picking him up, Joe. Yeah, he's in the zone read. So the Mike is 24. We're pushing out to 24, the nickel. So when he blitzes, it doesn't matter. The backside tackle goes to the Mike, and then the scraping tight end comes around. So it's the same play we scored on last week on 3rd down. I think we've scored 3 or 4 touchdowns on it so far this year with Cam. What happened is that free safety is kind of showing down weak and disguising. So as a result, now that's what they were doing. They were disguising and running back to the post. So because he was down kind of in that gray area, I think Cam ended up – I haven't talked to Cam yet, but Cam ended up moving the Mike inside to 24, which then leaves the blitzer. Even as such, we would still like to hand the ball off and have Amir run through the nickel. In a perfect world, the way the play is designed, we push out to the nickel so we don't have to throw a bubble off them. We zone to the Mike, we split around for the will, and if there's any extra blocker there, Cam Newton runs him over. So that's the thought process with the play. It's why the play worked last week on 3rd down for a touchdown. It's why it worked against Washington. We don't want to repoint the Mike. It happened a couple more times. We got it corrected on the sideline not to repoint the Mike. But all that being said, we as coaches always take responsibility on those things first. So it wasn't designed to be a bubble. Would hope it would never be a bubble. I talked to Jeff this morning. The first thing he said is, "Hey, coming out of a timeout, I wish I would have called something else." But that same play, it's important we note, Joe, that same play has scored a lot of touchdowns for us so far with Cam and the greatness that he brings in terms of pulling the ball and running. So that's, if you want the details of it, that's kind of the details of it.
Yeah, thank you. And why the timeout right before that? I know you were in a different formation.
I don't remember exactly why. I think we didn't love the play, and so as the clock was coming down, some of the things we've had a hard time with are just getting up to the line and getting the plays. But I don't remember exactly why we did that, to be quite honest.
Matt, what are your plans at quarterback moving forward this week? And also, are you bringing in other kickers? And can you say who this week?
Yeah, Scott's upstairs right now working on kickers, and so we don't have that plan finalized. I'm sure we'll bring some guys in for a tryout, just to have them kick. So we'll hopefully have something finalized in the next day. Obviously, could potentially even have one active and one on the practice squad just to really cover ourselves as we move forward. So we'll get that situation handled. In terms of the quarterbacks and all those things, I mean, obviously we'll continue to coach Cam and keep building off the good things that he's doing. We have PJ here. We'll find out about Sam today and his health. I'm not going to look into the future. No hypotheticals. If Sam is healthy, we will practice him and see kind of where he's at. I think it's a good opportunity to see, shake some of the rust off him and see where he's at in the process. So I can't speculate in terms of who will be the full-time guy this week until I have more information. And I think those tests are today, so I should have some clarity, by the end of the evening.
All right, let's go to Darren Gant, followed by Scott Fowler.
Matt, in looking back at that, were there points yesterday when you think that maybe going to PJ might have been advantageous with the flow of the game and the way things were going in the passing game?
You know, when I talk about the passing game, obviously, I think everyone has to be better. I thought we had some good moments, obviously hitting Amir, you hit Robbie on a good route. You know, protection-wise, picking up some of the pressures, guys getting open. I thought there was a lot of things that we needed to do better. So, you know, I felt comfortable with the decision to play with Cam and let Cam play it all the way out and allow him to use his feet and his arm to move us. Like I said, and again, it's the day after a game. I mean, but I'm saying, he got us in the end zone twice. We had 2 other times that we were down there that we would have kicked field goals, but take away that last score. In my mind, I think Cam fought to get us to be 23-20, right, with a chance to go win it. So, just when you don't have a kicker, you end up missing out on some points that make a big difference in the ball game. So, there was nothing about it that at no point did I say, hey, let's make a change. I thought we played it the right way.
Matt, 2 small ones. I'll go one at a time. But first on Zane, is his injury definitely, a season-ending type of thing?
They did an MRI this morning. I haven't, we usually meet with the doctors right about now, so I don't know exactly. After seeing him yesterday, I kind of in my mind walked away thinking it would be, a considerable amount of time. But I can't confirm that yet until, they give me that information.
Okay, thanks. And on Sam, I know you don't want to speculate in the future. In terms of his injury, was his throwing compromised in your mind, or is it more as you practice him, assuming he can practice fine this week? Is it just rust mainly that you'll be working with?
Yeah, I don't think his throwing's been compromised. I know seeing him throw last week, he's throwing the ball, as well as he has. It's in the back, in the scapula, So I think it's just a contact injury. So, to me, just him in and of himself, taking on any other quarterback or anything, just him in and of itself, it just be getting back out there and practicing and playing, But I think the main question is really just, on the CT scan or whatever they're doing, is it safe for contact if he were to get hit?
Thank you.
Go to Chris Jenkins with the next question, followed by David Newton.
Hey, Coach, just how do you keep guys going in the right directions with a 4-game losing streak this deep into the season?
I don't do anything. They do it. The results yesterday were not what we wanted. I think at least when I'm standing on the sidelines and watching guys play, I thought we played really, really hard. I thought, we sacked the quarterback 4 times. I thought we, guys played hard. They played physical. I think every guy that's here wants to win. Every guy that's here wants to be successful. Every guy that's here appears to be very, very grateful for the opportunity they have to play for the Carolina Panthers. And so, losing takes a toll on everybody. But they show back up to work every day, and I've had no issues ever with their effort or with their preparation. I thought we went out there yesterday, obviously lost Derek Brown the day before, don't have a guy like Dante. That's an opportunity for other young players to step up and play. Yetur got to play a lot more inside, got a sack, got to the quarterback a couple times. So the group of men that we have here, they'll continue to compete. Obviously, we have a chance to play the defending champions this week. I have no concerns that they will continue to play and play hard and fight scratch and claw for the Panthers.
The follow-up question is, obviously you're going to try to win each game, but do you try to evaluate some guys that haven't had that much time for the future at this point?
Yeah, I think at any point, anytime you have a chance to play a young player, you like to see what they can do. Gives you clarity for the team moving forward. Like we were able to get Stanley Thomas Oliver back up this week and got him playing. But just we're never going to do it at the expense of the team. We're going to try to win. These guys work too hard not to try to win. But yeah, I think when you have opportunities to see guys play, you always take those take those as best you can. You know, whether it's like a guy like Phil Hoskins or who's had to get up because of injuries. You know, seeing Yetur really kind of start to come into his own, that's a big thing. So when we can, we will.
Hey, Matt, David, got a couple of questions. One, what your tour, did he like earn some more playing time with what you saw on Sunday? Is he a guy looking for bigger things in the future?
Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks we've been talking about playing him more, and then obviously when Derek, when we had to shut Derek down on Saturday. Derek came to practice on Saturday and didn't feel well, and so we had to shut Derek down. Obviously, he went on the COVID list. Yetur then, moved into even more of a role inside. So Yetur is a guy that, one of the unique things about a lot of the young guys that we have is, some of them spent their, going into their senior year, some of them spent the junior year, as they get ready for the draft. They spent a lot of them in their apartments, not doing COVID, because of COVID, So Yetur's a guy to me who, spent the offseason this year, which had shoulder surgery. He's growing into his body, but he's pretty explosive off of blocks, makes some plays. He made some excellent plays in the run game yesterday. So I think he's really ascending right now, and will be a big part of what we're going to try to do.
Are you looking to play him more inside moving forward, or that just depend on situational?
Yeah, I think he has the versatility to do both, which means he should play more. He can play outside, he can play inside. Obviously we have two guys in Reddick and Burns who bring a lot of pressure off the edge. So it's hard sometimes for those other guys to get reps outside. So the ability for Yetur to move inside does give him more playing time.
And the other thing I want to ask you, what do you, I think I haven't broken down Tampa Bay yet probably, but looking at what they've done to get where they are the last couple of years, what do you take from the way they've done that?
I think Jason Light's done a great job of, they weren't good for a while, right? So they drafted well. They're really good up front on the offensive and defensive lines. Obviously, they have great skill at receiver, and then they have Tom Brady, who's the greatest quarterback of all time. So they took a good team and inserted the greatest player ever to play the game. Bruce Arians, a great coach. Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles, great coordinators. They've got continuity. But I think when you look at that team, you look at that defensive line, you look at Vita Vea and Shaq Barrett and JPP and Ndamukong Suh and all those guys, fast linebackers who can run. There's a lot. That team's built to win. And then I think on the offensive line, you've got first-rounders and second-rounders and, are really talented. I mean, I think when the Pro Bowl ballot comes out, you'll see several Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. And then you add in a guy like Gronk and Fournette, you bring a couple of those guys in. I think Jason Light's done a great job, and Coach Arians has done a great job.
Sure.
Let's go to Vashti Hurt, followed by Will Kunkel.
Hi, Coach. I just wanted to know your thoughts on the offensive line play yesterday after watching the film.
I thought late in the game, obviously when it kind of became a true drop-back game, when we were behind, it obviously wasn't good enough in terms of protection. We had some issues. They zero blitzed us a bunch and just came all out. So there was always an extra guy. We burned them once for the big play to Amir. Just didn't quite burn them enough. So it was like everyone else. It just wasn't good enough to win. There were some good efforts. Some guys did some good things. We ran the ball for 150 yards, which is always a key for us to win. But the max blitzes and the overload blitzes. We have to be better at picking up as many as we can and then burning somebody, and that didn't get done at the level we needed it to.
Hey Matt, I'm just curious. Saints have given the Bucs fits over the last handful of games. How much do you watch what they do against the Bucs in order to try to create those mismatches as well?
Yeah. I mean, we study all of those things. I think. I think the Saints defensively, and I haven't studied them obviously enough yet, but they're pretty healthy right now. They lost some guys in the middle of the year, and now those guys are back. I think the thing about the Saints defense that gives people fits, obviously, is their ability to play man coverage and match up with people. You have guys like Lattimore and CJ and all those guys. Like they will line up, overload you, and then come after you. And so I haven't studied this game yet. That'll be after we meet with the team. But yeah, I think we watch all those guys, Will, and see, hey, can we match up the same way? What are giving them trouble that we can see? We've followed the Bucs the last couple of games, so whoever we're playing, they played the Bucs the week before, and so Tom Brady's been playing absolutely. I haven't seen yesterday's game, but the other weeks been playing absolutely lights out. So it'll be interesting to see what that game looks like and why it happened the way it happened when you watch the all 22 tape. I haven't done that yet.
All right, we have time for a few more. Let's go to Sheena Quick, followed by Chris Jenkins.
Hi, Coach. I was wondering, do you have an update on AJ Bouye? And as a follow-up, how do you assess the play of the secondary yesterday?
AJ will see if he can go this week. They'll take a look and see, how much his foot is healed. So that's why we didn't put him on IR. We're going to try to get to this week and see how they did. I thought the secondary, played really well at times. I thought we disguised, we brought different pressures, gave them some difficulty at times, and then unfortunately gave up a touchdown down the middle in 2-man, and lost on the fade and then that final play. So I thought the secondary, kind of like everything else, probably played about 60 good snaps, and we probably had 5 that didn't produce winning. So we have to play better there. But I do think some guys probably played one of their better games. That was a explosive offense, and they disguised well and gave us a chance, to get off the field a bunch on 3rd down, which was good.
Coach, what do you make of the tip balls that Cam Newton will have throughout the game?
I don't know that I can comment too much, on why some of those things were happening. The one was the guy was mirroring him and came over the top and jumped up. He's a huge guy, jumped up and batted the ball down. That was an issue for Sam as well. So, but I can't give you a definitive answer, Chris, and hey, it's because of this or because of that. Typically, quarterback has to find a way to try to slide in the pocket. Line has to keep him away, so it could be one thing, it could be multiple. I don't know that I can go much beyond that.
And I know currently Cam's 0-4 this year as a starter, and it actually goes back a little bit further as far as the last time he's had a victory as starter back there for Carolina. Does that start to play a role at all into your factoring about your quarterback decision finishing out this season?
No, I do what's best for the team each and every week. I've absolutely respected and appreciated and loved every second that Cam's been here. He works as hard as someone can work. All he ever says to me is, "Hey, keep coaching me." He wants accountability. He wants to help the team win. So I've enjoyed every second of having him here, and I'm looking forward to seeing him today. Him and I usually sit down every Tuesday, and we'll just one-on-one for an hour or so and just talk. I've learned so much from him. So I hate that we haven't been able to get a win for him while he was here. I thought he played well enough in the Washington game for us to win. I thought defensively we didn't quite play well enough in that game. But I do know that Cam lays it on the line every time he goes out there, and I do know that Cam prepares at a high level every week. And you can learn a lot about somebody and their true character. For everything that people might think they might know about Cam Newton, like you can learn a lot about who he is as a person, as a man, as a competitor these last 4 games. Because there hasn't been one moment. There's been one moment where he's pointing the finger at somebody else. There hasn't been one moment where he's saying, "Hey, it's and there has been one moment where he doesn't say to me, "Hey, coach me." "Hey, Sean, coach me. Get after me." So. 0-4, whatever. I'm just worried about this week, and I'd love for us to get a win versus a great Buccaneers team this week, and we'll go back to the process of trying to come up with a plan and get the guys to execute the plan. But make no mistake, now this guy. He's the ultimate competitor, and I just hate that we couldn't score more points yesterday and win the game. But I'll always look at myself first before I look at anybody else, and I think he's a real guy.
Thank you.
All right, let's finish up with Joe Person.
Matt, any thought on getting Brady Christensen more work this week?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. And he played last week. It's a possibility for him to play this week. We'll have to sit down over the next 2 days and really think about, hey, who gives us the best chance to win? But, Brady's another one of those guys, kind of like Terrace, that came off of kind of a crazy year leading up to this year. I think Brady's going to be a starter for us for a long time. I think he needs an off season, and I think he just needs a little bit of strength training. Normally, you get to the NFL, you're not going to get much stronger. But really, when you look at it, between the ages of 25 and 28, where guys can make some of their biggest gains, and to extend their careers, those guys all missed out on some of that stuff. So, I'd love to see Brady play a little bit more. I like who he is. I think he's going to be a good player for us.